Hey, ya YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry VTT from the ground up. And I've kind of done some cleansing, I guess, in here. So these are the ones we've done so far. We've done features, we've done, was that items? No, backpack. We've done weapons, and we've done loot or items, I guess. So I put little X's in front of all these other ones just to make sure we cover them all as we go. So these ones are the ones we've done. And I also, at first I was going through and I just put a little X inside of it under description. But then I thought, you know what, let's just do this. And if it gets rid of the thing, that's fine. If not, that's fine as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the next one, which I guess is spells. So we're going to come in here and you can see it says spells, and we're going to pull up Magic Missile to see once again what we can figure out about this thing. Actually, maybe we'll try it once again all on our own first and see how that goes. Because it's been going awesome so far, right? Hold on while I pull up. I forgot to, I wasn't sure if I was going to use D&D Beyond's webpage this time around, but I think it's a good idea. So let me grab this real quick and go into, well, we could just leave it there. All right, so let's go ahead and put that about there, stretch that down, and close that into, actually you don't need the bar. We'll give you just a tiny bit more real estate there. All right, so we're gonna go into spells. So spells view all. So we're going to attempt with Magic Missile. Now, Magic Missile is actually one of the more tricky ones. If you were to code this so that it actually automatically did it, because Magic Missile shoots out 3 missiles, they're guaranteed to hit, so there's no actual roll to hit. And then each of those missiles do 1d4 damage. So if you're all focusing on one target, they're basically getting 3d4. But if I'm focusing on 3 targets, each of them are getting 1d4 damage. So MAGIC, Magic Missile, hit enter, and Magic Circle, Magic Missile right there. So, and I should probably pull this up so I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. So, this shows you the information for Magic Missile from the Player's Handbook, page 257. While I'm doing that, I also want to pull it up over here so I have a reference. And I'm just going to copy this, say copy, and paste. That way I can reference it really quick while we're making it. So as you can see, it's a spell tag. It's a damage type spell. Then you can see that it's available for a sorcerer, wizard, Arcana Domain. I don't know if that's a wizard Arcana Domain or what. Then Armorer from the Unearthed Arcana. You can see it's a first level spell. Casting time is 1 action. Range is 120 feet. Components, it's vocal and somatic, which means you have to do, have to wave your hands around and stuff like that, or throw them out like you're shooting. The duration is instantaneous, which means it's a one and done type of thing. It's not something like, like Charm, which might last a while. This is the school of magic it's from, is Evocation. There is no saves on it, or attack. It just always hits. And then this is the type of damage it does, force. So here you can see you create 3 glowing darts of magic force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage. I forgot the plus 1 to its target. The darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit 1 creature or several. At higher levels, when you cast spells using spell slot 2 or higher, the spell creates 1 more dart for each slot level. So if I upcast this and cast it at level 2, that means now I get 4 darts. So if I do 5, I get, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 3 additional darts. So I get 6 total darts, right? Is that right? Because you start out with 3, at level 2 you get 4. Actually, wouldn't that mean I get 7? I don't know, I shouldn't have jumped so high. I should have just went up from 3 and then 4. So at 2 you get 4 darts, at 3 you get 5 darts, at 5 you get 6 darts, at 6 you get 7 darts. So you get 1 extra dart compared to the level that you're doing. I guess that's a good way to say it. So if you're doing 2 you get 3 darts. No, 4 darts. Nope, never mind, forget it. Anyway, let's just continue on instead of focusing on my blunders. So here we can see we have magic missile. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're first going to try and create it ourselves. Then we're going to go see what is actually in the compendium for it. So, you know, we could add the description stuff. So I guess we just basically start here. It's first level. I guess that oh, that's in here, I bet. So here's where we choose the level. It is actually evocation, so we click on that. It has a verbal and somatic, right? V and S, but it doesn't need a material, and it's not concentration, and it's not ritual. So pretty easy there. Spellcasting materials. This is if, for example, it does require material that has a monetary value, or if it requires any materials at all, you can put those plus the monetary value one. Generally, if you have a component pouch or an arcane focus, that is all covered just in those things, all the basic things. But anything that has monetary value, like a pearl worth 50 gold or something like that, then you actually have to have that in your inventory. Spell preparation, this is whether it's prepared. Once again, this is its default state, so it doesn't come in being prepared. And here we can say it can be at will. This would be where you have, as a warlock, pact magic or something like, not pact magic, what's it called? I can't remember what it says, but if you ever see in the thing it says, oh, now you can cast this at will. So Eldritch Invocations, for example, you can cast different things at will depending on if you choose that invocation or not. So this means you can do it without using up a spell slot. Always prepared. That would probably be a cantrip. They're always prepared. Innate spell casting, not 100% sure. Then of course we have pact magic and we have prepared. So this is whether it's, now I'm not sure why that has prepared and that has prepared, but oh well. Let's see, activation cost. My guess is this would be 1 action. We'll see how right we are. Activation condition, we don't need a condition for it. Target is probably a creature. It's not, you could target non-enemies. This is the range. No, range is down here, so I'm not sure. Oh, this is self-touch, special miles, feet, touch. I'm going to leave that blank. I don't think there's going to be anything in there. Maximum range is 120 feet. It doesn't have a minimum range. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to feet. The duration is instantaneous. Is that an option? Yes, it is. Limited use? No. So we don't need to worry about that. Resource consumption? No. I would imagine this would be like if you're using your bow. Why is that? That wouldn't be considered. Item consumption or resource consumption. I guess you would set that to material, like if it had to be a pearl, if we set material, and then I guess you'd type it in and how many or something. Not sure. Action type. So this is considered a ranged spell attack. Ability modifier for a wizard and a sorcerer. Aren't they intelligence? We're going to pretend they're... I think they're intelligence. I think that is correct. I think, well, a sorcerer might be wisdom. I think a wizard is intelligence, and like a paladin, a warlock, they're charisma. Can't remember off the top of my head. Forgive me for that. Damage formula. Now, this is where it gets tricky because... basically it is 3d4. However, if you're shooting 3 individual targets, then I'm really interested to see how they actually do this. But my guess would be it was force damage, and I'm just going to do 3d4 for now. I guess when you roll that, you actually see what the 3 dice were. However, that would not be able to actually. And my guess, they actually probably say 1d4, and then you just cast it 3 times. I'm really interested to see how they handle that. Versatile damage. This is not a weapon such as a axe or something that does versatile damage. Other formula, none. Saving throw, there's no saving throws. Chat message, we've still never figured out what the heck that means. And there we go. Chat message, level scaling. So I don't know. And this just says cantrip and none. Unfortunately, you can't see it because I can't bring the screen that low. And I can't bring this up. I wish you could actually scroll this, so it didn't have a minimum height. Because I'd be able to go down probably if the screen were larger, but I can't go up, which is kind of not cool. So level scaling, I guess if there's a scaling formula or something you could do, you could put in a formula. So I'm interested also what they actually do for that. So we can go ahead and call this magic missile. I have it spelled exactly the same as it is there. So I'm also curious if theirs actually has items SRD. This one's going to be interesting overall. I guess I should have just did a search, but now we're already there. So I just saw it. Let's see how we did. Magic mouth, magic missile. See, now that's actually a cool icon. I like it. Oh, they set it to other instead of range spell. I'm not sure why. One action, 120 feet. I wonder if you put 120 by 120, but minimum would actually be 0. Or right next to you, 5 feet to 120. One creature, we didn't put the 1. Looks like we might have did pretty good though, all things considered. So we did that, we got that, we got this. Wait, I said we're not setting it to prepared. Okay, so it's not already prepared, but it needs to be prepared to use. I get that. One action. So I guess, see, but target isn't one creature. But that tells me, yeah, the 1d4, oh, we didn't do the +1 either. So they are actually expecting you to target each creature. This part I'm not sure because this isn't the same max. So the maximum distance is, this makes more sense to me that it would go from, say, 5 foot to 120 feet. So I have to disagree with what they've got there, but I'm not the pro here. Instantaneous we got, that's nothing. And this I'm also not sure why they chose other. And ability modifier, I guess we could set that to default and then it will base it. That's actually probably the smarter choice, is to do default, because this can be wizard, sorcerer, and a couple others. That would mean that it would try and use intelligence on all of them. So if we do default, it's going to look at the character that it's being used with and say, oh, this is their default spell. So that's, I totally agree with that. Not sure why action type is set to other. I forgot the +1 because I'm a dummy. Force, formula, nothing. Level scaling. Spell level. I don't know what that does. to be completely honest, and no clue what that one does. I know that it did say that at higher levels, when you cast the spell using a spell slot of second or higher, the spell creates one or more dart for each level above. So I understand why it says spell level, but there's no formula, so I don't think that does anything. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, but not too bad, other than it didn't actually pull in a picture. Control C. Did we have it misspelled? We might have had it misspelled. Yes, we did. I'm so smart sometimes. You guys probably totally saw that too. I think I don't know. I might have had EL instead of LE. But there we go. Not too bad. There are a couple things, and that's what we're finding with everything. You know, there's a couple things here and there that seem a little weird and that we don't understand. So now let's see. We're at 16 minutes. I think we could probably do our consumable. So we're going to do a consumable. This is a potion of healing. I think we kind of already filled this out just a little bit, but let's just make sure. Let's see. Spells. No. Let's go up here. Go to items. Is it under equipment? So PO. Oh, let's do healing. HEALING. All right. So potion of healing right here. So as you can see, really simple on this one. A character who drinks the red fluid in this vial regains 2d4 plus 2 hit points. Drinking or administering a potion takes an action. Now, this is one thing. I consider this so small that it's just a, you know, like a vial, literally a vial, and you just pop the cork out, down it. I usually let my people do it as a free action instead of an actual action. Now, on a bigger potion where you have to, you know, gulp a couple times, for me, I think of a test tube with this. This is just a small little test tube vial, and you just pop the lid and drink it because it does so little. And I think it's kind of pointless to have that actually take an entire turn. So let's go ahead and do this. Control C. So really, this one looks like it's going to be very simple as well. So let's go back to our Foundry, and it looks like we've already done a lot of this. Maybe it's actually all done, but we will compare it. So we have Potion of Healing, that's good. Consumable Potion, it's common. Source would be, actually this one does not say in the PHP. The spell did. So I think this one might actually already be done. We actually did a pretty good job with this one, I think. So it's identified. We know what that means. Consumable type, so it's potion. Nothing you need to be attuned to. Nothing that's equipped. Once again, identified, I would think there should be, like, if you click identified or unclick identified, it should have a little box that pops up somewhere that says unidentified name. And that way you could say, yeah, see, this is what I imagine. A little tiny thing, just pop the cork, down it in like one sip. But I think it should say where you could change it and say a vial of red liquid, you know, or something like that, where you don't know what it is, but they can figure it out. So that, I think we mentioned before that I think that should be changed, or it should have an update to that where you can actually have an unidentified name. Activation cost, 1 action is what it says, but like I said, maybe I'd call it a bonus action. They don't have a free action in here, do they? No. So I personally would probably call it a bonus action or a free action, kind of like talking, just because it's so small. Then we have the target, so it'd be one creature. That seems right. Range has to be self, maybe. Well, no, it has to be. I guess the closest might be touch or special. Because if you're doing it yourself, it's yourself. If not, you're giving it to someone else. Duration is instantaneous. Does it have instantaneous? One and gone. It has one charge, or one use, I guess. Destroyed on empty. Technically, you still have the vial, but it's empty. I don't know. I mean, maybe this would be interesting to try and use and see if it deletes the item out of inventory, which would be destroy on empty. However, I would think you'd still have the vial. But if you're in a battle and you just pop one of these really quick, you're just going to toss down. You're not going to carefully put it away or anything. So destroy on empty makes sense to me. Consumable action does healing. Activation type is healing. Ability modifier, whatever the default is, I don't know what that would be. 2d4 plus 2, healing, that makes sense. I think, and then we've still never figured out what chat message flavor is. It actually does not say anything. So let's go look under consumables. Where was consumables? Aren't they also in the items? I think they are. Items. Yeah, because there's an acid vial. So let's do POTION of HE. There we go. All right, let's see how terrible we did. I almost feel like we did this in more depth when we first did it. So I think we're going to be pretty exact. So let's go all the way up. We have potion, identified, yes, action, that's to be debated. One normal, one charge, just destroy on empty, healing default, 1d4 or 2d4 plus 1, 2, blah, 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 blah. Formula, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that definitely seems like we probably did that one in detail when we did it, although I did forget to do one thing. No, I didn't. I got rid of the X. All right, so I think that will do it for this episode. So we went over some spells. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We also went over consumables. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. I actually have other YouTube channels. I have Taz Unplugged. They don't get as much love as this channel, but I do have them. Taz Unplugged is for games that might have content that is not appropriate necessarily for kids. It's not me that's saying stuff. It's usually the game that might say some more strong language or something like that, or have blood and gore. And then I also have my Taz Teaches, where I have taught pretty much a lot of Java. I teach how to build a system. In fact, the system I'm on right now is the one we build in that one. But I'm just going to keep rambling on. So that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.